Hi, my name is Wayne Toth. I'm the coordinator of the Motive Power program here at Niagara College. We want to take this time and give you a nice tour of our facility. We're very proud of our state-of-the-art facility that we have here. We have a very good program. There's some great opportunities in the automotive sector to be getting full-time positions. So we've got a good student base that comes into the program, and they do very well. It's a co-op program, so they go out on co-op midpoint in the two-year program. And we get 100% placement with our co-op students, and a lot of them go on to get full-time positions when they graduate the program. So we'll give you a nice tour. We'll show you what goes on. We are in the middle of the COVID-19 pandemic, so we'll garb up with our PPE on, and then we'll take you out into the shop. Okay, this is the main automotive shop area. It looks a little different right now with the COVID-19 pandemic. Typically, the shop area is all wide open, and we can move around with the shop in the different areas. But now with the restrictions, and we're following the proper protocol, we've ended up dividing the shop up into smaller areas, and that's what the black walls are set up with. But what I'll do is I'll take you for a walk through the shop area just to give you a better idea of what we do here. And again, like I mentioned earlier, we're very proud of our facility. So this area here is where we have all the hoists. So we break down the courses into individual programs. So typically the brakes, suspension course would be done in this area. We have multiple cars that we have on the hoists. And the other thing too, we have some really good partnerships formed with the different car manufacturers. So General Motors, you can see there's some fairly new GM vehicles that are donated. Ford has been very good with us, Chrysler, and also Toyota. So we have a wide range of different types of vehicles in our facility, and we take the basic knowledge levels of the students coming in from the basic automotive all the way to the latest and greatest technology that you see on the roads today. This is the engines lab, and again, we're very proud of this. You'll hear me saying this a lot because we are very proud of our state-of-the-art facility. But this is a full engine rebuilding lab. So the students in the very first semester, they are given engines. We use four-cylinder engines that they take apart, and they completely rebuild that engine, and then back together, and they actually put it into a run stand. They actually start the engines up. And this creates a lot of excitement for them. You know, they've not only taken the engine apart, but they understand how an engine works. They've been able to rebuild it, and now they start it up to make sure that it's working properly. Unlike a lot of other college automotive programs, we go above and beyond to make sure that they get the full aspect of a complete engine rebuild. So we'll just take you for a walk around here. This would be a typical engine that they would work with a partner and basically take it apart. So again, first semester is four-cylinder engines. They also have, in the second year, they have another engines course where they work on V6 engines and more of the electronic end of it. So they take those apart, rebuild them back together, and then they start those engines also. So all the way around the outer part of this lab area is different pieces of equipment that do a different part of rebuilding the engine. So this first machine here is a flow meter. So they actually put air flow through the different parts of the engine, and then they can modify it. They can change the size of the intake and the head intake system on the engine, and they can see more air, possibly can create more power with the engine. So other things we get into in the engines is we get into superchargers, we get into turbochargers, and again, these machines are all part of the rebuilding of the engine. So this is actually the head of the engine, so it's actually resurfacing the head. We get into valve servicing. So that's all done with these machines. When they're in the first semester, they're taking the engines completely apart. These are the heads off their engines. So this is getting ready to do a rebuild on the heads, and then the heads go back onto the block. These are the blocks of the engines. So they're all cleaned up, they're rebuilt. You know, their surface has all been redone. All the measurements have been taken on the engine, and anything that's out of specification, they'll try to get it back into line with a rebuild of the engine. And again, more equipment directly related to overhauling the engine. And then these are the blocks. These are, because we're into the 4th week of the course now, so the students have taken their engines apart, cleaned them, and now they're getting ready to completely finish the rebuilding and then start reassembling the engine. So these are all set up, they're organized, each student has their own setup, their names are on them, they know that that's their engine when they get back into the next set of labs. So again, it creates a lot of excitement near the end when they get them all back together, get them running. They're taking videos, they're putting it on Facebook just to show that they have done a good job and their engine has been completely rebuilt. Okay, so this is the steering suspension area of the labs. So this, you'll see there's a lot of equipment in here. What we typically do is we look at industry partners. We look at what type of equipment they're using on day-to-day process in their shops, and we purchase the same type of equipment. So when our student graduates the program, they're very proficient in a lot of the equipment that's being used in industry today. So this area here just kind of showcases a lot of the different pieces of equipment. This is the tire area here. So the students are exposed to updated equipment. We use Snap-on, we use Hoffman, and we also have a Hunter, the latest type of wheel balancer. It's called a road force balancer. So they make sure that they have a really good understanding of how tire service works, and right up to the latest technology. We have what they call run-flat tires now. So this is important that they understand all the different technology. And then in this area here is where we do the alignments. So we have vehicles set up on the hoists. These are drive-on hoists. And then these are alignment machines. So these are Hunter alignment machines. Again, very typical. You would see these machines in the dealers and also the tire shops, etc. So that's all done in this area here. With the walkthrough of the labs, you'll see a lot of the blue equipment. This is specialized, a company in Quebec that builds the training aids for us. So this works really well to show the students how each of the components operate. So you saw earlier the engines on the other part. This is a suspension trainer. So the students can actually see how all the suspension works on the vehicles. And we can make adjustments. We can change the position of the steering, and they can see how it affects tire wear, how it affects how the car handles. So that's important that they understand that basic technology. And you see a lot of cars now, they're lowered to the ground. You see the wheels out on them. It's all about aesthetics, but really it's not a proper way to drive a vehicle. But again, we go through all of that technology within the program. Okay, this part of the lab is the Green Automotive Technology Lab. You just saw a picture of the females in a program. That's the pre-apprenticeship automotive program for females. It's a very popular program here. We've been running it for a couple years now. And in the automotive trade, there is lots of opportunities for females to get into the program. We have a lot of dealerships that look at our graduates from the pre-apprenticeship program. So we're proud of that also. We're not using this right today as the Green Tech Lab because they're doing their pre-apprenticeship course in here. But typically this lab is all set up with all our electric vehicles and our hybrid vehicles. And we take the students in the second year through that new technology. So when the student graduates and leaves the program, they've got good knowledge based on how to service an electric vehicle, hybrid vehicle, and alternate fuel vehicles. So we get into natural gas, propane, some hydrogen technology, and that's all done within this facility here. And one of these training aids that we have here is actually out of a Toyota Prius. So it's explaining to the students, it's a cutaway that actually shows all the components of the hybrid system on that Toyota Prius. So we have lots of visual aids within the program that really help the knowledge levels of the students when they actually see how everything operates. Okay, this is the tool crib area. So the window here, the students actually come up to the window, they sign out the specialty tools that are in here, keys for the cars, keys for the toolboxes. Everything is logged in with their student ID number, and then at the end of the labs, everything is brought back. Right now, everything is sanitized that they've been using, and we have two technologists. We have Kevin and Andy, full-time technologists. They do an amazing job for us. They make sure the shop runs smoothly, all the vehicles are up to par, all the equipment is working correctly. And Kevin does a great job doing investigation or research on all the equipment that is being used in the trade and making sure that we purchase it, bring it into our facility, and again, make sure the students are well versed on how the equipment is being used. Along with the equipment sign out through the tool crib, the students are also signing out toolboxes. So each student gets his own set of tools. So the keys are being assigned, and the student's job is really to have a quick look through the toolboxes to make sure the tools are all in place, nothing's missing. And again, with the COVID protocol right now, any tools that the students are using are put in the gray tote bin on the top, and at the end of the lab, they're sanitizing the tools, putting them back in the toolbox, make sure everything is there, and then they're handing the keys back in at the end of the lab. So we have very good inventory control of all the equipment that they're using in their labs. This is our electrical lab in the program. Our students are actually in here 3 times throughout the 2 years of the program, and we utilize a lot of individual boards. So each of these boards that are on display here right now are a different part of the electrical circuits on the vehicles. So for example, we have door locks, we have ignition systems, we have the cooling fan circuits, and the student gets to really understand how each of the circuits operate. And the nice thing with these is we can actually put problems into them. We can flip a switch, we can create an open or a short in the wiring, and the students now have to diagnose what the problem is. So this way they get a really good understanding how each electrical circuit operates, and then we take them out to the vehicles and we actually have them doing the diagnostics on the vehicles. We can take this knowledge into the shop area also. Our vehicles are all equipped with breakout boxes and pin boxes where they can actually do the testing rate on the vehicles also. Same thing within the electrical labs here. Okay, again, more training aids that you've noticed throughout the whole shop tour. These are what we call ABS trainers. So we have 2 different types of ABS trainers. So these simulate what goes on in the braking system of the vehicles, and we can actually create different road conditions with this. We can create raining weather conditions, icy road conditions, and the students get a really good idea how the actual ABS brake system works on the vehicles. And then obviously we have them on the cars too during the actual testing on the vehicles themselves. In the background here, we also have more electrical trainers. So these are lighting boards, so the student actually gets a good idea how to wire up the different circuits. So this is part of the electrical courses that I mentioned earlier. During the tour, you saw the Green Automotive Technology Lab. That lab is one of the few in Canada with college automotive programs. So that houses all of the new technology that we cover in the 2-year program. We have 7 hybrid electric vehicles in our fleet, so we make sure the students have a good idea how the technology works on those vehicles, the electric and the hybrid vehicles. We also introduce alternate fuels in the program. So we talk about propane, we talk about natural gas, we talk about hydrogen-powered engines. So this is all part of that new technology that we introduce into the Motive Power program. So we are very pleased with the Motive Power program. It's very popular. We have 3 intakes. We run a September, January, and a May intake. And the co-op placements, so each term there's a co-op group going out. And we have a lot of good partnerships with a lot of the industry that hires our co-op students. and they really take a good look at the type of students that are in the co-op placements, and they offer them full-time positions when they graduate the program. So thank you for taking part in a look at the Motive Power program. Me as coordinator, Wayne Toth, I'm really pleased to also do private tours. If there's an interest, please reach out to me. My contact information's on the website, and I would be glad to answer any questions that you may have and also give you a tour of the facility. Thank you.